Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're doing something really exciting. We are going to take a behind-the-scenes factory tour of a modern, highly personalized AI financial recommendation engine. We're going to see exactly how raw, messy data gets transformed into perfectly tailored financial advice. But first, let's kick things off with a pretty massive question. Why is there such a huge trust gap when it comes to automated financial advice? I mean, think about it. We gladly let algorithms dictate our weekend movie nights, but when it comes to our life savings, no way. We freeze up. And the core issue there has always been a lack of genuine personalization and, frankly, transparency in fintech. The secret to bridging that gap? It's all about ditching the old playbook. We have to move way past those generic, static questionnaires and manual analyses that just sort people into broad, clunky buckets. The new way is all about real-time adaptive AI modeling, systems that actually learn and evolve with your everyday financial behavior. So here is the blueprint for our factory tour today. We'll briefly hit the generic advice problem and then walk step by step through data ingestion, behavioral clustering, predictive modeling, explainable AI, and finally how we deliver those trusted recommendations. Before we get completely lost in the technical weeds, just keep this high-level pipeline in the back of your mind as our mental map. Every single piece of advice generated by a modern system flows through these four distinct stages: ingesting the data, clustering the behaviors, predicting the portfolios, and, crucially, explaining those AI decisions. Every step is absolutely essential. All right, starting with section 1, the generic advice problem, and why we're moving beyond static questionnaires. We really need to recognize why traditional rule-based logic is just totally failing modern investors. It simply lacks that continuous learning ability to adapt as your real life changes. Which brings us right down the assembly line to step 1. Data ingestion. This is basically where all the raw materials that make up your financial footprint are securely gathered. What's really wild here is the architecture of the parser module. It doesn't just passively sit there, it actively pulls data from multiple external APIs and bank statements, funneling everything directly into specialized storage, like time series databases for your transaction history and document databases for unstructured files. But raw data is super messy. So we have an ETL, or extract, transform, load, pipeline acting as the ultimate prep station. It scrubs the raw ingredients clean so the machine learning engine can actually digest them. It uses heavy-duty frameworks like Apache Spark for massive overnight batch updates, while simultaneously using Apache Flink for near real-time streaming, meaning a coffee you bought just 5 minutes ago is instantly factored into your profile. Now that our data is squeaky clean, we move into step 2, behavioral clustering, grouping those user spending habits. The system now needs to understand who you actually are. To pull this off, it relies on brilliant algorithms like DBS-Scan and fuzzy k-means. DBS-Scan is incredible because it uncovers hidden spending patterns without anyone having to guess beforehand. By analyzing the density of your transactions, using parameters like an epsilon of 0.5 and a minimum sample of 10, the AI mathematically separates your boring, habitual monthly bills from your spontaneous discretionary spending. And just look at the profiles this creates. Notice the stark contrast here. You've got a prudent saver with high income stability and low risk tolerance, right next to an aggressive investor with variable income but high risk tolerance. The crazy part is, the system knows this based entirely on what you actually do with your money, not what you claimed on some survey. Which leads us to step 3, predictive modeling. Think of this as the powerful oven of our factory, where your personalized investment paths are literally forged. This neural collaborative filtering, or NCF, workflow takes those user clusters we just generated and matches them with historical interaction scores. NCF is an absolute powerhouse because it learns incredibly complex, nonlinear relationships between what you need and the available financial products, giving you truly adaptive recommendations. Alongside NCF, this layer uses an entire arsenal of math. You've got the classic Markowitz model maximizing expected returns while minimizing risk. Then, 2 tower neural networks act almost like high-speed librarians, retrieving candidate portfolio items in under a millisecond. And for all the structured data, battle-tested algorithms like Random Forest and XGBoost step in to guarantee high predictive performance. But here's the catch, right? All that sophisticated math is completely useless if you, the user, don't trust it. And that brings us to step 4, explainable AI, translating the math back into human trust. Take a look at where the explainable AI, or XAI, module actually sits in this framework.
It is purposefully wedged right between the predictive black box and the final decision output. Its one and only job is to guarantee that every single recommendation is completely transparent, justifiable, and fully auditable by everyone, customers and regulators alike.
Techniques like SHAP and Lime are total game changers here. Think of them like a nutritional label for your financial advice. Because they are model agnostic, they can unpack any complex prediction and tell you exactly why a specific trade or savings plan was recommended, literally quantifying exactly how much your income stability or your recent spending habits influence that final decision.
Finally, we reach the end of our factory tour, delivering those trusted recommendations. This is where it all comes together into a seamless user experience.
The result of this entire pipeline is a highly tailored, dynamic portfolio. We're talking a very specific breakdown, like 40% in mutual funds, 30% in fixed deposits, alongside savings and insurance. This is absolutely not a generic template. This is a bespoke financial plan that perfectly matches the behavioral clusters and risk models we unpacked earlier. And all of this ties directly back into a master metric, the financial health score. It's a dynamic score out of 100 that is constantly evaluating your income stability, your savings rate, and your debt health. Every single recommendation the AI makes is specifically engineered to optimize and push this score higher. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question to chew on. As AI takes over all this complex math, will the future of finance rely more on raw algorithmic power or the transparent trust we build around it? Because at the end of the day, without explainable AI, even the best math in the world won't win over a skeptical investor. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope it gave you a crystal clear map of how the future of personalized finance is being built.